When the going gets tough, only the tough get going. And in order to keep going in sales, one of the key skills that comes handy is resourcefulness. That is the ability to find a way to achieve your goal. So let's talk about resourcefulness in today's episode. Fall in love with selling as you acquire the right mindset, selling style, and sales process that helps you take your business solution to more prospects, potential clients, and the world at large. If you are a women entrepreneur who is looking to get more sales, scale, and sustainability in your business, you have reached the right place. I'm Roshni Baronia, your host for the show Ace the Sales, which is all about helping you bring your authentic and influential self to each sales conversation. Has it ever happened with you that you have found yourself to be stuck and you are not able to find a way through to make inroads into getting a meeting with a particular prospect? Or if there is a client or a brand whom you really want to work with, but you are just not able to crack the code of getting their attention. You are not able to get in front of them no matter how much you are trying to do so. Let me share such a story of my sales experience. So this was the time when I was into media sales, and there was an international client that I was wanting to have for onboarding for my company. And so the international clients have a marketing representation in the region. So like I'm based in India. So in India, they have a marketing agency which they hire. And so that's the way they used to work. And I was trying to connect to this Indian partner where I was sending them all the prospecting sequence and calling into their office as well. But I was somehow not able to go through the right channel. I was not able to crack through the right channel and get to the person whom I wanted to connect to. And it was really taking a long time for me to at least get into a conversation with some person, get lead into that. I was just not able to understand why nothing is working. So one fine day I thought, no, this has to be seen in a different perspective. I have to take a different approach. So I reached out to the marketing head of the US headquarters directly. Fortunately, in US, people are very open and welcoming by mentioning their emails on the website mostly. And so I didn't have to hunt around too much in getting that email ID for that marketing head. So I just sent out one email to her mentioning that this is the particular collaboration that I wanted to explore with her. And she immediately responded. And so much so that she put me in touch with the marketing agency who was handling their account in India. It turns out that they had recently switched over their marketing agency, and on the website and internet everywhere, the previous contact was mentioned. And probably it seemed that they were really pissed off, and that's why they were not directing me to the right contact, and they were not telling me also that the contact has changed. So this person put me in touch with the right people, and immediately we were able to set up a meeting, connect with them, and take things forward. And yes, we were able to close deal with them. So the reason that I share this story with you is that yes, there are times when you have to think out of the box. You have to be imaginative and creative in finding ways in which you can reach to your ideal client, reach to your desired client, and even convince them into working with you. And that's what is called as being resourceful. And when you are not resourceful, then you are often going to remember the title song from the series Friends. So I'm just going to say the lyrics here. I will not going to bore you by my singing. So the lyrics go something like this. It's like you are always stuck in second gear when it hasn't been your day, week, or even your year, isn't it? It always seems that you are stuck in that particular problem, and in the absence of that innovation, that ability to think through a solution, you are all not able to make progress. You feel like you are hitting a roadblock in every sales conversation. You are not able to overcome the little objections, or the competition or the delays from the client's end are really driving you nuts. When you are not able to get past any of these struggles, these hurdles, that is when you feel that there is no solution to your problems and everything starts to feel all the more frustrating. So if you are able to cultivate resourcefulness within you, that is the ability to think, imagine, ideate, and create new ways of solution finding, then you will be able to overcome your hurdles more easily and in a better way. So let me share 3 ways in which you can develop more resourcefulness. First up, be open-minded. Be open to possibilities, open to exploring, open to taking risk and experimenting. So that's the way innovation happens. That's the way when you try out new stuff, then new solutions start springing up in front of you. Imagine if Madam CJ Walker hadn't experimented with making her own mix of hair treatment. If she hadn't taken the risk of being the first Black woman to build a beauty business, if she hadn't explored new ways of selling to women by standing amidst a vegetable market and using her personal story, and that's when 50 women flocked around her and started to hear her story and bought the product from her. If she wouldn't have been that resourceful, if she wouldn't have experimented with that thing, we wouldn't probably have had such a strong female role model in our history who went on to create such inspiration to so many women out there who have now built massive beauty business. Probably this entire industry wouldn't have existed if Madam CJ Walker wouldn't have come forth with her resourcefulness. So the first thing is that you have to be open-minded, open to exploring. Okay. The next thing is be imaginative. And by being imaginative, I don't mean that you start painting and pick up a brush and do some artwork or something. Not that. You also do not have to grab a chair and start daydreaming. Being imaginative in business means that you are able to tweak or twist the situation a bit so that you are able to make it work for you in a better position. Like it is said that great people don't do different things. They do things differently. So in each situation, you have to think how I can approach it differently. Probably that same situation, that same problem is for every other people out there. For every business owner, it is difficult to manage so many things at hand. It is difficult to bring on new people, hire team, manage so many tasks. But how do you as a person approach this problem differently? If as a coach you are seeing that you are not hitting your sales figures this quarter, or the number of signups that you had wanted to have for this launch looks very, very far-fetched. So what do? If you are resourceful, then you do not give up thinking that your launch is a failure. You come up with a low cost but high value bonus which can add more of an invitation to people signing up for your webinar. You start reaching out personally to your old clients or your people from your network, or you personally start emailing your top email subscribers with a personal note. So there can be different things that you can try out. There can be new strategies that you can at that very moment try out. The point is that you have to imagine and look beyond what currently exists and think of ways as to how you can break through that particular situation or hurdle by being imaginative and thinking of new solutions, coming up with new ways to break through the boundaries and break through the norms to meet your sales targets. And lastly, being persistent. Now, I cannot stress enough this point because in this digital age, we are actually spoiled for instant gratification. We get pizza delivery in 30 minutes. We get delivery from Amazon the very same day. On-demand movie is like available at a click of a button. So we are spoiled to get through our way, what we want at a click of a button, at an instance. But that's not how things work in business, and much less in sales. So be ready to be persistent with your efforts. Proactively make daily efforts to do your sales activities. Try a dozen things, 100 different ways if that's what it takes, but don't give up. your fight simply because obstacles present themselves on their path. Trust that every no puts you much closer to the next yes that you are looking for. So be persistent with your daily sales activities. Do not ever leave a track of that. And of course, when you keep practicing the craft every day, you tend to get better at it, right? Things don't become easier, you just get better at it. And that's what resourcefulness makes you do. It helps you see through a particular situation in an imaginative way. It helps you open up your mind and look for newer solutions. It helps you to stay your path, be focused, and master your craft in a better way. So that's what I have done always in my sales career, and that's what I am sharing with you today, that being resourceful in business and in sales is very, very critical for you to acquire as a skill in your entrepreneurial journey. So I hope you found courage and confidence from today's episode, and if so, do make sure that you share this episode with at least 2 of your business buddies, because you never know, someone out there might need to hear this. Someone out there needs this courage, this light at the end of the tunnel, which will help them see that by being resourceful and being persistent in your sales activities, you can definitely reach sales success. So thank you so much for tuning in today, and I would love for you to join me in the next episode, which is coming up next Thursday. Till then, take care and stay safe. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It means a lot to me that you've taken out the time to spare to listen to this podcast episode. I hope I was able to provide some value to you. And if you had some learnings from today's episode, do consider leaving us a 5-star review or a rating on Apple iTunes. It will mean the world to me, and it will help me take this podcast to more and more people. And if you are planning to launch your podcast, you should definitely check out hubhopperstudio.com, because that's the place my podcast is hosted, and I am super thrilled and happy with the features and customer support they provide. Hubhopper is India's leading podcast creation platform, which can be the perfect place from where you can share your voice to the entire world. So go check out the link in the show notes, and I will see you next week.